Joining us to talk more about this is our travel expert, Claire Newell. And, you know, you hear cases of bumping from time to time when you're waiting to board your flight, Claire,
Yes.
and they ask for volunteers. Apparently they asked for volunteers. No one volunteered, so I didn't know that this could actually happen.
Well, first of all, it sounds like they asked for volunteers on board the aircraft. They should never have even been boarding without trying to resolve this ahead of time. They could ask for volunteers when they don't get any. You've seen it yourself. If you're waiting at the gate, people start to put up their hand if more money is offered. And in this case, they clearly didn't do that. They got people on, and then they decided four people. And they said
four
that
crew members.
Four crew members. Yeah, that needed to go. And so 4 people, paying passengers, had to be bumped. And in this case, they chose people who paid the cheapest amount. And depending on the airline, they'll decide people will be bumped if you're on points, if you checked in last. Various number of reasons. Make sure that you check in really early. And at the end of the day, this was a PR nightmare. And I think everyone's waiting to see, you know, to hear what they do and what kind of compensation. I don't think we're going to hear any of that, the details of that, but I would suspect that they're going to try and get this dealt with before it ever goes into trial or a lawsuit brought against United.
And maybe against Chicago police as well.
Right.
I mean, the guy was bleeding pretty heavily.
Yeah, it's a horrible, horrible picture. And at the end of the day, if this prompts Canada to get a passenger bill of rights in place quickly, it will be great for us as Canadians. The EU has one, and the US has one, where if somebody is bumped, there is compensation that is mandated. And we don't have that. It's up to each airline here based in Canada. And so it would be great to have an amount that is actually set for passengers. And that doesn't just end there. It ends with bags that are lost or damaged, that type of thing as well.
But so in the US, they have a passenger bill of rights. It didn't, I don't know how it applied to this particular situation. They were offered compensation, but they still
chose not to resist
take the compensation.
At the end of the day, people need to remember that an airline can bump you involuntarily, and they must give you some sort of compensation. He just really didn't want to go, and they took it too far.
Boy.
Did they ever?
Did they ever? And now it's coming back to bite them. All right, Claire.